Hey guys, welcome back to Project E. First off, man, check my boat out. It looks completely different. That's what it looks like without that wrap on it. You know, we got the wrap taken off. This is going on to the new owner. Got all the carpet logos taken off. I've got to get it over to Shoreline Fiberglass to put the new carpet in it before I turn it over to the new owner. It's gonna be fun today. We're gonna go fishing in this thing and nobody's gonna know who I am. I'm gonna be like incognito. And not only that, the high today is supposed to be like 37, 38 degrees. There's a chance of snow. It's been snowing the last few days. So it's gonna be really, really cold. That's why I've got all this stuff right here. I'm gonna talk to you a little bit about it before we go. Dressing for that super cold weather fishing trips. You know, don't let it not let you go. I dress in layers. I've figured out over the last 20 years how to stay warm on these days like this. You know, the wind's your killer, so you can't let that wind get through to you. But with that said, I put like a thin t-shirt on, kind of like a moisture wicking, you know, long sleeve t-shirt. Then I get something that's got some insulation to it. This is just a, I don't know what it is. It's just kind of thick, you know, fleece maybe. And then last year I started wearing these puffier down type jackets. Man, they're awesome. Like as far as lightweight, thermal. And then I'll put this big jacket on right here. It's just kind of a big ski jacket. Also the wind can't get through it. It's pretty awesome. Then on the bottoms, you know, I don't wear jeans anymore. I got the long underwear, a good pair of long underwear. Then I put sweatpants on, just another insulating factor. And then put my 100-mile-per-hour rain suit on. Hands, that's what I battle, man. My hands get so cold out there. I think what's helped me more than anything is I cover my head and I cover my neck. I get me like a neck gaiter like that, you know, something that comes down around here, covers that all up, covers my head. I'll have me a stocking hat on. Again, you lose all your heat through your head, so you wear that. I carry lots of extra gloves. I got thin gloves, thicker gloves, and then driving gloves. And then, you know, you can't ever have enough hand warmers. I'll keep them in my pocket. I'm gonna take a heater with me. Just sometimes, man, you get so cold, your hands get so cold, you know, if you're idling back in the pocket, it's just perfect to heat your hands up. So I carry that little heater. Heck, that thing's like on sale right now for 69 bucks, so you can't help but not have it. So with that said, let's go to the lake. Let's see if we can catch a bass today. Let's put all this stuff in my truck. I'm hoping I got the lake to myself. You know, it's gonna be one of those days that, who knows, I don't know. I might have it to myself. I might not catch a bass though. I might be the only knucklehead out there fishing. So who knows? We'll go see. But I'm gonna have all my warm clothes with me, and we're gonna go see if we can catch a bass. You guys, come on, let's go. Head to the lake with me. There's one. There we go. We got one. And I've been throwing a spinnerbait all morning. Going over to that Fritz side. Had 2 bites immediately. We got fish for one. And that fish had it on the back hook. I mean, I feel like I'm reeling it pretty slow. Oh, there's one. I popped it off that rock and I had one eat it. Not a very big one, but I got one. Oh, that's why I never give up when I go to pop one off a rock. You know, I just always try my hardest to get that bait off, because so many times it just that added noise brings them right to that and they'll bite it. I've had that happen a lot this year. Wipe my nose. Hey, we got 2 fish. Man, my most favorite retrieve in cold water for a crankbait is I'll move that bait with my rod, not my reel. I just drag it to the side like you would a football jig or a Carolina rig. And what that does is, one, it keeps me from reeling it too fast, and it makes me pause it. You know, if I just sit there and reel it in with a handle like that, you know, you don't pause it as much, you're reeling it a little bit faster. But if you'll throw that thing out there, you know, reel it down, and then just drag it with your rod to the side, pause it, reel up that slack. I don't know what it is about that retrieve, guys, but I catch a lot of fish doing that right there. You know, I'm talking about when that water temperature's in the mid 40s, you know. That's the retrieve I like a lot. Got a little flat. Those fish are right there on that channel swing, that transition. There's one. Oh, right hit the boat. Hey, 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 hey! You know what this is? This is my first jerkbait fish of the season. Oh gosh, dang it. Fish landing violation, 2-minute penalty. Oh, so cool, so cool. I love jerkbait fishing. I absolutely love it. Yes! I think we're figuring out where the fish are about to be. Another one. Oh, that's a good one. That's a good one. Hey, we figured them out. We figured them out. That's a big old spotted bass. That's my second jerkbait fish of the season. Number two on a really, really cold winter day with snow on the ground. Yes, I love it. I just love it because, you know, your line's slack. All of a sudden it's just tight, you know, it's just tight. There's another one. That's 3 out of 4 casts. Isn't that crazy? I mean, when you find them, you find them. It's not a very big one, but it's a fish. Huh. It's another spotted bass. Another spotted bass. He was up shallow. He was like first 5-6 feet of the bank. Thanks, buddy. There's another one. That is just crazy to me. Like, you just go. And on a lake like this, that's the greatest thing about it, is when you figure out where they're at, you figure out where they're at, especially this time of the year. Oh, it's a big old spotted bass again. Golly. Big old spot. Thanks, buddy. Thank you, thank you, thank you. All right. He's got a little old bitty mouth. Huh. Spots and largemouths all mixed together. Nice one. My jerkbait. There it is. Right when I paused that thing. Oh, that's a decent one. I'll make my gloves get wet. There one. Man, that fish is right where you would expect him. I mean, it's just a channel swing bank, just like every other bite today has been on. It's a better fish. It's a better one. Come here, buddy. Come here. Oh, there we go. All right. It's so hard to fish with gloves. Thanks, bud. Hey, I may not be catching giants yet today, but we're catching fish, and it's 38 degrees out. I really like the backs of deep pockets like this in the wintertime. You know, I've still got a lot of depth in this thing, but I got steep sides. I think it's a spot that, you know, bass can just go back here and they winter. They pull up on these sides and they'll feed, you know, then they'll pull back out here to the middle when they're not feeding. You know, it's plenty deep enough that, you know, has shad all winter long. I like finding pockets like this that are deep, steep sides, deep all the way to the back. It just seems to me like no matter what lake I travel across in the country, I can catch fish out of the backs of pockets like this. Look at the eagle, another one. That's a pretty one. One thing I got to determine where they're at in the pockets. Are they in the back still, working their way out, you know, main lake? There's one. Not very big, but it's a fish. I think I could catch some better fish today. Ow. Man, I'm getting my gloves all wet for that little feller. Thanks, buddy. A little scar on the side. You know, on a day like today, I don't focus much on docks. You know, if we had sun, yeah, I'd be really kind of looking at these front corners, these back corners, these docks. I feel like, you know, just with the clouds, you know, the conditions we've had the last few days, been real cloudy, snowy. I'm better off just fishing between the docks. I don't think those fish are necessarily having to relate to the docks. And heck, you know, the days are so short, and you get out here, you got to kind of wait till you can get out here till the temperature gets above freezing. You know, 10:30, I think today it was, and your day is short, so you got to really make the most of your day as quick as you can. And you know, I don't have time to hit it all. I'm just really right now just trying to fish some of these steeper pockets, channel swings in the back, those kinds of things. That's one thing I love about these days on the water. You know, these cold days, there's like a 30% chance of snow today. I haven't seen another boat out here, which I think is pretty cool. I like coming out here knowing that there's probably not too many other knuckleheads out here fishing today. When I come to the lakes in the wintertime, you know, I'm gonna look for the cleaner water. You know, I maybe not necessarily the absolute cleanest, but I sure don't want to fish the stained section of the lake. I just, for me, I find it a lot easier to catch bass, you know, when that water temperature's cold in the wintertime in cleaner water. I don't do very well, you know, fishing the upper end, the muddy end. You know, those ends, I need like a week or two of warm weather to be able to go up there and catch fish, you know. But if I've got a cloudy, cold week or two and you're headed out to the lake, go to the cleanest portion of that lake. That's just a given. And it's the same thing in a pond. You know, fishing there at the house, I got two ponds. I got one of them's muddy and I got one of them's clean. I can catch fish in that clean pond, heck, when I got ice on it, you know. But that muddy pond, I've tried it. I just can't get a bite. I know they eat. I can't get them to bite, you know, hardly for anything unless I've had 2, 3, 4 really warm days in the wintertime. Then I can go to that muddy pond and catch some fish. So it's the same thing in the lake. Man, I seen my line pop. I was like, I think I got a bite. I think I got a bite. What do I have? I got a bass. I got a bass, I got a bass. Come here, buddy. Oh, yeah. Oh, I gotta get that glove. Trying to get my gloves off. That is so fun. May not be a giant. I don't know why I'm not catching bigger fish today. I feel like I should be, but I'm catching fish. That's all that matters. They're all fun. They're all fun. Got little tattoos on his tail. Thanks, buddy. Let's catch another one. Mistake I've made a bunch in my career, and a couple times today. You know, when you jerk that jerk bait, it's important to take that slack out of the final jerk when you go to let it pause. You know, there's a fine line right there to have too much slack and pull your bait to you. You know, it's just a little half reel. I get that loop out of the water, at least to where I can see that loop when I get a bite. So it's just important not to leave too much slack in it because you won't be able to see that you got your bite. A scenario that I look for in a lot of lakes when I'm traveling across the country is, you know, if you've got a really dirty section of the lake and a really clean section of the lake, I like a lot of times to start my search where those waters mix, you know, where it's not the cleanest, but it's obviously not the dirtiest. You know, year round, that's just a fishing tip that is a good place to start in your given body of water where you have that mix from clean to dirty, somewhere in that, you know, it could be a 5-mile stretch of the lake, or it could be a 1-mile stretch of the lake, or could be a possible creek arm that you only have a mile of that color water. But in my opinion, that's always a great place to start if you don't have a starting spot. I just love it. I love it, I love it, I love it. It just doesn't get any better than catching bass. I just like it, I like it, I like it. Thank you, buddy. See you in a couple of years. I got him that time. I got him that time. Ooh, a little bit better fish. And it just goes to show to pay attention to your electronics. I mean, that's why I've got on mine, that's why I've got transducers on the front and the back. You know, so I can see what's going on in the back of my boat. And I saw just a little old pod of them back there. Little fat shorty. Let's see if I can get one more. There he is. Oh, it's a nice one. Nice one. Oh, buddy, come here, come here. Oh, he's just got one hook. Man, that's a bunch of Kentuckys today. A bunch of them. Thanks, buddy. All right. Got a lot of pink in him. Look at all that pink. That's cool. Feels like something. Man, that fish was on the bank. I don't know what I'm doing wrong to catch a big one. I just don't know. I really like in the wintertime to find deep water close by, steeper banks, drop-offs. In my opinion, you know, I have had the most success in cold water. It doesn't always have to be deep water, but I need to have deep water close. So think vertical. I guess what I'm trying to say. Think of areas that maybe you've got 4 or 5 foot of depth, you know, a little flat, and then it just drops off deep. You know, those to me are always the best areas. You know, this bank's a great example. It's just it's a pretty steep bank. It's not a bluff, but it's a pretty steep bank, and you know, it's the kind of stuff that I look for. Wintertime fishing, yet I'm still fishing shallow, you know, with a crankbait or something like that. All right, guys, there it is. You know, man, I didn't set the world on fire. I caught a lot of fish today, a lot more than I really expected to catch, but I didn't catch big ones. You know, a lot of times in the wintertime you come out, you know, for me anyway, you get 4 to 6 bites, but they're all generally good ones. Today, I don't know, I think I caught 10 or 12 fish and no good ones, you know, 2.5 pounders, but I'm happy to catch them. Don't get me wrong. I like it anytime I can catch some fish, but you know, a couple things to keep in mind. Steeper banks, you know, that was kind of a key today. Steeper banks, they were out towards the mouth more. They weren't in the backs. You know, I think a lot of times when you have snow like this, you know, it's been really cold, all that cold runoff, it kind of pushes a lot of the fish out of the backs of small pockets, bigger pockets, creeks, whatever it is. And, you know, I found everything kind of, you know, midway to the mouth today. Just never found any good ones. You know, I caught all my fish. Caught the first few on that right there, just a frit side, honey shad. That's just a favorite of mine. I won red crest on that thing, and I've got it on a 5-to-1 pro qualifier reel, 10-pound line, a 7-foot medium heavy rod. You know, reeling it really slow, just paralleling those banks. Caught a few on that. Then all the rest of them really came on that bait right there. That's just a Berkeley cutter, cool little bait. That's the skinny cutter, 110. I need to retie too, looking at that line. I got 10-pound test on there. That's gonna be an 8:3-to-1 gear ratio reel, a 6.9 medium action rod. Making a long cast again with it. You know, I didn't have to let that sit. You know, a lot of times you think jerkbait fishing, you had to let it sit, but you know, the water's in the mid to upper 40s, so it wasn't overly cold. They were pretty active. So that was my day in a nutshell. You know, the day ended really, that's the one thing that I get frustrated with. You know, this time of year, I don't get a lot of time on the water. You know, it gets dark. It's like 4:35, And you know, it wasn't above freezing until 10:30 today, so you don't get a lot of time on the water, especially if you're trying to see a bunch of the lake. But nonetheless, caught some fish, had fun, and brought you guys another episode of Project E. I just want to wish everybody a Merry Christmas, have a Happy New Year, and enjoy the time with family. And we'll see you guys in 2021, Project E. Thanks, guys.